tired of the fake outrage from the media. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe here and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Please subscribe to my second channel, JOA TV. I posted a video apparently last night. I did not even know that it published randomly. I was shocked to see that it published. I didn't put a thumbnail. I didn't do descriptions. I didn't do none of that. It just published randomly. And then at like 4 in the morning, I saw that it was published. So please go there. If you are a business and you want to advertise on my channel, please do email me at joamedia1@gmail.com. joamedia1@gmail.com. I want you guys to watch this clip and I'll come back with my commentary.
Right. So, Meghan, is this a reckoning for both sides, for left, right, and center, as we watch our COVID response?
I mean, what I think is really interesting is this recent Quinnipiac poll that said that Americans' approval rating of President Biden's handling of the coronavirus in May, it was at 65%. Now in July, it's at 53%. It's a pretty big leap down. So people can place blame on people like Ron DeSantis and, you know, Asa Hutchinson and whomever else. But the buck does stop with the president and the president in charge. And the narrative that, oh, he's only been here for 8 months. American public doesn't care. They don't care. They look to our leaders. The buck stops with the president. And if I were a Democrat, I'd be concerned about why these numbers are going down with the approval rating. And in regards to Ron DeSantis, I mean, he's such a target for the left right now. Everybody should keep attacking him because it's just making him more powerful and more likely to be the nominee for president. He knows what he's doing. A lot of the reason why he has popularity has to do with the way he's handled, you know, mask mandates and freedoms and opening up the beaches in Florida. And again, there's not an exodus out of these major cities like, you know, New York and Los Angeles and, you know, places we're seeing all across the country from these blue-led areas into red states. This absolute exodus that's happening culturally if there's not a problem. So in regards to the coronavirus, I implore people to get vaccinated. I've been vaccinated. I've said it 10,000 times. Beyond that, I hope that these variants don't end up being as lethal or immune to the vaccine as some doctors are speculating right now, because we're going to have a very, very hard winter.
Sarah, do you commend the change of heart from Governor Hutchinson and see where he wants to go now?
Absolutely. I think it's never too late, because the point is, we say every day about vaccines and masks, and when someone listens up to the science or what their numbers are showing them and says, oh, I was wrong, I'll take them. It's not where you start the journey in life, it's where you end the journey. I give people a chance to change for the betterment. It's also not a surprise that he would recognize the importance of a mask, because many people that didn't want to wear a mask before the vaccine and don't want to wear a mask now, even with the variants, are the same people that don't want to get vaccinated. 42% of his state, that's a low rate, is fully vaccinated. They are down to only 25 ICU beds in the entire state of Arkansas. So these numbers are now proving themselves. And when we assess President Biden's, how he handled the virus, I say he doesn't have a lot of control. I agree the buck stops here. But you got 50 states under him, and with this lack of wanting big government, the states control this. What we're seeing is a divide with those 27 Republican state governors and the 23% Democrats. These numbers are directly reflecting the decisions these governors are making. So I absolutely commend Asa Hutchinson. I encourage others, because what he realized is these variants are affecting kids. The cases are rising and school's about to come back in session. So if we want those kids in school healthy with all of the other people that work in our schools, the teachers, the administrators, the janitors, we need people to get the vaccine. And by the way, if you're not going to take the vaccine, put your damn mask on. You can't have it both ways.
So it's being said that Ron DeSantis is a rising popular political Republican figure in the party. There was a poll saying that he was like 74% up in the polls, where people would most likely vote him on a Republican side as a president, and Trump was second under him, and Senator Ted Scott was the last at like 36%. And just about last week, there was a shift in his approval rating, just a slight shift because of his authority and his ways with this whole pandemic of seeing masks as a retribution for your own rights and take away from your own rights, and not wanting kids to to wear masks in schools and threatening the school system to pull grants and funding. And so the school system ended up retracting their statement, allowing kids to be quote unquote free in school without masks. For the most part in this commentary, I think Sara Haines did really well. I'm actually starting to get along with her and seeing her assets on The View. You know, it took me a long time. You guys know I'm not really a big fan of her husband. I mean, he blocked me on Twitter. Her husband is the direct opposite of her, and I'm not even going to call it ideologically opposite. I'm just going to call it more of a social racial issue. If you get my drift, just go on his Twitter page, Max Truffin. But where I did disagree with Sara Haines is the fact that, you know, she said you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. And, you know, if you don't want to wear a vaccine, you have to wear the mask. Well, I mean, so I'm going to say this again. I am tired of the left stream media, the liberal media, keep touting that the Republicans who don't want to get vaccinated are also the ones that don't want to wear masks. OK, there is about 36% people here in Louisiana. Most of them are minorities and black people, if not all of them, that are not vaccinated. But I'm sure a lot of them, like myself, are wearing the masks. OK. So that's where I disagree with Sara Haines. Where I do agree with her is that Joe Biden is in his 8th month term as the president of the United States. And conservatives are known for limited government, but they want to flip the script when it is seen to be an attack on the left side of the political aisle, meaning that since she knows that Governor DeSantis is not really doing well limitedly and governing it limitedly, she wants to attack the big scope and blame it on Biden for the lack of, leadership in Florida. And you can't have it that way. You can't change the meaning of conservatism when it benefits you. You have to stick with your grift and say, I'm for limited government. And this is the wrongdoing of Ron DeSantis versus someone like Joe Biden. There's also outrage. There's outrage about Brian Kilmeade on Fox News talking to Steve Doocy. And, you know, he has a problem with Steve Doocy now continuously saying that people need to get vaccinated. And I agree with Brian Kilmeade. Like, I'm not about to listen to a news anchor. I'm not about to listen to a political figure. I'm not about to listen to anyone that does not have a medical degree telling me to get vaccinated. OK, I'm simply not going to go to a Walgreens, a CVS, a Walmart, whatever, to get vaccinated without me going to the hospital and getting a checkup, because I, till this day, don't even know what I have, because the last time I personally went to the doctor was 10 years ago. And a lot of minorities, black people, unfortunately, do not have health insurance. A lot of minorities and black people don't trust doctors. A lot of minorities and black people do not go to the doctor, especially when they are young. OK, so I'm not about to go to these retail stores to get a damn vaccine when potentially I can have something else like diabetes, obesity, whatever type of condition that I may have that may potentially deter me for getting a certain vaccine that I'm not aware about. So what I'm saying is I would want to go get a checkup from a doctor before I decide to take whatever the vaccine that I'm being offered. OK, we all know that vaccinations aren't 100%. We all know that this virus is a continuous study. We all know and learn from doctors that, you know, one doctor I was reading described it as a pest trap. You know, a trap is on a high spectrum of being highly effective with capturing a pest, but at the same time, they can get away. Like a roach can do a little wiggle room, or a rat, if you will, a rodent can do a little wiggle room and get away from the rat trap. But 9 times out of 10, if you're on the trap, you're going to get caught once you eat the cheese, right? So that's what the vaccine is being described as. And so, you know, earlier on in the beginning, we were told that, you know, vaccines are effective in most conditions and you are not allowed to wear a mask. I personally, and you can call me a conspiracy theorist, I personally thought that the timing of the CDC coming out saying that was at the same timing of when the economical forecast came out that Biden's one of Biden's accolades did not become an accolade because he was supposed to fulfill a million plus people going back to jobs, but only a fifth of that, only 200,000+ people actually went back to work. So all of a sudden you get the CDC coming out, trending on Twitter saying, you know, people don't need to wear a mask. And this was just in May. This was not too long ago. This is a few months ago. And I thought that, you know, they were doing that for economical reasons versus for the health of the people. I lastly want to say that I lean more right. I am probably more moderate and conservative than any of the other hosts on The View, of course, besides Meghan McCain. I believe in limited government. I don't believe in socialism. I believe in affordable health care. If it's free, that's fine. I am pro-life. I don't believe in taking advantage of the government. And I am that to a core. Like, I've worked during the pandemic, the early part of the pandemic. I worked washing cars, and a lot of these so-called conservatives that call themselves conservatives applied for unemployment because they qualified. But unemployment is a socialism distinction, correct? I, for one, did not do it because I do not believe in doing that. Number two, if I needed the money, I would have put my entitled sign to the ground and work my ass off and go to a McDonald's or some other job to accommodate myself and my needs. I have the work ethic. I don't believe in this socialism, liberalism that's going on in the media with everything being free, with people with this rent stuff, you know, taking advantage of the unemployment checks and also working at a job, not trying to overbound yourself for the 40 hours a week because you don't want the IRS on your ass. Yes, a lot of people were doing that. A lot of people were taking advantage of these unemployment checks and these PPPE loans for businesses. And so, you know, it's quite unfortunate that even the people that call themselves conservatives take advantage of these things. And of course, the people who lean on the left continuously instead, you know, don't want to work their butt off because they lack the condition of having cultural values and work ethic nowadays. They want to be on their damn phones and not work. And so it's like, this is just how society is nowadays. People are lazy. Americans are lazy. And this is why the scope of the countries outside of the United States of America look at us as stupid, really stupid people. And I don't blame them at all. I also want to say minorities and black people don't trust the government. A lot of them do not trust the government. I am one of them. And a lot of them are more prone to medical disparities due to American history where, you know, they may have, or not where they will have, for the most part, a lack of access to healthcare, to resources. And that's often stated as to a reason why younger folks may be affected by this virus, because a lot of younger folks who cannot go to school, who lack the resources for medical attention, end up working at jobs that are more prone to high interactions with this COVID situation, whether it be fast food, whether it be retail, whether it be any type of customer relation job. And although this virus is more susceptible, affected towards older people, you know, younger folks are still getting affected, but it is not at the high percentage statistic that the media is trying to ensue in us. So in conclusion, go see a doctor. Do not take advice for people. I'm not taking advice from people in my comments telling me to get vaccinated, okay? Unless you're a damn doctor and you can prove it, I'll hear you out. But I'm going to talk to a medical provider where they'll tell me X, Y, and Z, okay? And I'll have that right as a citizen of the United States of America and as a human being. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please do subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Deuces. Yeah!